Hey, sixth graders. Don't forget we spend the first 15 minutes of class every day working on MobyMax. So if you have done that already, awesome, keep watching the video. But if you haven't, make sure you pause here, sign into MobyMax, and do your language lesson for 15 minutes. Today, you'll think about how you might revise and improve your first draft to make it a more interesting book. So I want you to start by rereading your first draft quietly. In class today, I'm going to pass out sticky notes. Then you're going to reread your draft and then mark the different passages as I ask you questions. So as you reread your draft again and as you have your sticky notes, I want you to find one place in your draft that you really like. This might be a place where you used words that you like or one where you wrote a sentence that you like. You'll put a sticky note in the margin or on the side of the page next to that place and write "I like" on it. Then, as you continue reading, I want you to find a place in your draft where you describe or could describe what something looks like. You'll put a sticky note in the margin or on the side of the page next to that place and write "looks" on it. Then I want you to find a place in your draft where you describe or could describe sounds. Mark the margin with a sticky note and write "sounds" on it. Then I want you to find a place in your draft where you describe or could describe how something smells or tastes. You'll mark the margin with the sticky note and write "smells" or "tastes" on it. As you're reading, I also want you to think, what sensory details might you add there to help the reader imagine what is happening? Today, you're going to look at all the places you marked with sticky notes and add details to help your readers imagine what is happening. This is an example of how your first draft might look. So this is the story that I wrote. And if you look in the margins of my story, I have my sticky notes. I wrote "looks" because in my first paragraph, I do a great job of describing how the hat looks. So it says, "My hat is a wondrous place. From the outside, it looks like a simple, slightly worn, brown felt hat with a black satin ribbon around the brim." So I did a really great job describing how it looks. However, this would also be a great spot to talk about how the hat smells, which I did not do. So in the margins, I have my sticky note that says "smell," so that way I know to go back to this area and add details about the smells. So when I reread my draft and looked for all the places I marked with sticky notes, I knew that I needed to add some sensory details to help the reader imagine what it smells like, because that helps them understand what is happening. So I had my sticky note that said "smells," so I know I wanted to add something about the smell. So I created this carrot, is what this mark is called. It's like a little triangle, and it's pointing up. And then I wrote, "Up close, it smells musty, like it's been around a while." So use this symbol to help you insert text. I knew I wanted to add information about how it smelled, so I put the carrot, and then above it in the space between my lines, I added the text. So now I know when I rewrite this, I need to insert or put this sentence in the place of the carrot. So it'll sound something like this. "My hat is a wondrous place. From the outside, it looks like a simple, slightly worn, brown felt hat with a black satin ribbon around the brim." So then I'm at my carrot, so I look up. "Up close, it smells musty, like it's been around a while. No one would guess that. When I place it on my head, magical things begin to happen." So now that's my new first paragraph with the sensory details I added. After you mark your draft, in class, we're going to meet in writing partners. With our writing partners, you're going to discuss all the places you marked in the story and plan what details you might add. Your partner will also help you identify or find other places you might need to add more details to in your story. After we're finished meeting with our writing partners, then it is time to work independently on improving our drafts. So you're going to look at all your marked places, add sensory details to help the reader imagine what is happening to all the places that you marked with the sticky notes. And then as you improve those parts, you're going to remove the sticky notes. Once you're finished making your improvements, then you can reread it and keep asking yourself, what words could you add to help your reader see, hear, smell, taste, or feel what is happening in your story? Remember, we want to add as many sensory details as possible. So reread your work and see if there are any other spots that you didn't notice at first that you could improve.